Hello, ladies and gentlemen, it's Mike here at Gamefromscratch, and today we're talking about, hey, a new game engine. This one is now available in public beta. I talked about it a little bit in the past, but it's now actually, you can get your hands on it. It is called EdenSpark. Now, I gotta warn you, it is very early on, but this is a game engine with a hell of a lot of pedigree. What is that pedigree? Well, specifically, this is from War Thunder creator Gaijin Entertainment. They make a game engine called Dagor. The Dagor engine was actually open sourced back in 2023. Now, this isn't technically Dagor Engine we were talking about today, although Dagor Engine, again, is the engine they use for their games. Things like Enlisted, of course, War Thunder, etc. But instead, we are talking today about this one, EdenSpark. Now, EdenSpark is powered by the Dagor engine and all the technology behind it, but this is aimed at being much more user accessible, to the point where a swear word for some people, AI is being introduced at some point. Not there yet, but we'll talk about that a little bit later on. The closest thing I could think of to the Dagor engine, or sorry, to the EdenSpark game engine is probably something like s&box or UEFN. It's aimed at more casual games than something like Fortnite or UEFN. So again, the closest thing I think of is s&box. It is a community where you can create games, share those games with other people, and then also you can use it to publish and make your own titles and ship them on your own. The project itself, again, called EdenSpark, available at edenspark.io, is currently completely free. You want to go ahead and download it, click the play button, and we'll bring down the installer. Look a little bit like this, and then you can choose which kind of games to play. There is a full-blown 3D shooter created using the engine. We'll give a quick look at it right now. This was actually highlighted in a earlier release where they compared Dagor Engine capabilities to those of Unreal Engine. You may recognize this level we're about to spawn into. Okay, let's go. All right, here we go. So this is the kind of game that you can hypothetically create. Although I think at this point in time, it's actually not technically being created using this. I think this is still being created using the Dagor engine. I'm not absolutely certain, although it is available as part of EdenSpark, so it could be. I'm not going to tell you one way or the other, but the thing that you're going to find here is what you're going to probably want to do is create your own games. And what you can do is actually create a new game, click on the plus here, and then you can either start from a 2D or a 3D template. And then you can see here there are a number of samples to show you various different things you could do. So there's like 3D model loading, a Cornell box, outlining of things, and then a number of demos. So if you're creating like a tank style game, like literally a top-down tank style game, or we got here racing games and so on, showcases the various different capabilities of what you're able to do with it. And then other people have actually published their titles up. So you come up here and you see all the various different games that have been created by different people showcasing what you could do with this right now. So in terms of creating games, when you load this up, it will bring you over to this. This is the 3D racing game as an example. Now, one thing you're going to notice at this point in time, level editing is just not there. It's just not a thing that exists. All of your logic is being created using code at this point in time. Though, interestingly enough, if you go ahead and run a project like what you see here, I can switch over to scene mode, and we actually have a full-blown level editor. We can check here. I can grab items in the world like so. I can manipulate them and so on. And you can see down here you've got so mesh ID. I can add components to things. So it's a component-driven engine. A variety of components are available down here. It's just there's no actual level editor yet. So again, this is a game engine very much still under development. So if there's no level editor, how is this all being created? So you see here, you've got a full scene tree when it is running, but that is only when it's running. When it's not running, you're gonna come down here and you're gonna notice in the project section here, under assets or whatever, there's no level files yet. There is something called a prefab, which you can see ultimately turning into a level. So again, a prefab, I can load it up right here, and I could go ahead and create things in the prefab world. So over here, I could go ahead and add in a new mesh cube. There is a cube in our world, and then we could save that out as a prefab and load it accordingly. So this is the basics of an ultimate level editor, but everything you're seeing so far is being generated using code. Now there's the next logical question is, what is the programming language behind this? And it's Daslang. It used to be called DA script. This is something that they use internally inside of their game engine. So this is what War Thunder's scripting is done with. And you can see examples of it down here. Now, another thing that comes with this is there's also, I can come up here and go edit, open VS Code project, and there is a Visual Studio Code plugin that you can go ahead and install here. So here you can see an example of a pretty complicated game world. So this is for doing, again, a multiplayer racing game. I didn't actually show you the game. Let's come back here. We'll get out of there. Let's play our game like so. We won't save our prefab. So yeah, let's go ahead, solo. So that game itself was like this, a racing game with physics, etc. So it gives you an idea of what the capabilities are. Here is the logic behind it. So you can see here, it's broken into these DAS files. So this is the logic for collisions. Here is the logic for the track segments. So this is what is creating the track procedurally. And then here is some structures behind that itself. And then here is your main game logic. And here is what your coding looks like. It's pretty straightforward and clean. It's kind of got a vibe of somewhere between C and Python to me. But that's just very based off of quick look at it. Actually looks a little bit like GDScript to me too. So gives an idea. So here is what loading a prefab looks like. Pretty straightforward. You just request the prefab, and if it exists, it finds it. And then you can use it by the ID later on. Code, again, this is everything needed to create that racing style game. Again, no level editor as of yet. So everything is pretty much done by hand. So if we look at another example, let's actually show you creating something from scratch. So I'm going to come down here. Here, let's exit this one just in case. I think it could be open, but I'm not 100% certain. I want to create a new game, come in here, create a blank 2D game like so, and go ahead. And then here you get to this launcher like what you see right here. And then I can come over here, go to the editor, open it up in the editor accordingly. And then, boom, here we are in the editor. It comes with some basic assets. So a triangle on screen. You're going to load this game up. You're going to see very straightforward. It literally is a triangle you can drag around screen. You can see as it's running over here, the entities in the world, those things that compose it, and so on. And then we go back over here. Here is the code handling what we just saw. And once again, let's go ahead and open that one up in the editor, like so. So this is a much simpler project. It gives you an idea. This is a simple triangle in the 3D world. And then again, so straight up during your update, your initialization code, your update code. So that gives you an idea of what handling of keyboard input looks like. It's simple. It's quite easy to work with. I like the basics of the language. Again, this language is actually something that they have supported as a third-party thing. So if you really like the look of this Daslang, you can actually embed it in your own game project if you wish. All right, so as a quick introduction, now the part we're going to turn a lot of people off is they're going to push towards this AI-assisted game making. Now, some people that's wonderful, some people that's horrible. This is going to be aimed more at beginners, although it is going to be for creating games both on PC and on consoles. It's going to also, and I'm talking future tense because it's not yet, but it's going to be under a permissive open source license there. And then you get an idea of what it's capable of. So it's going to be available on PS5, Xbox Series of hardware. And you'll also even be able to develop on consoles. So that's where they're going with this. They're going to try and make this a very user-accessible engine. So what you saw right now, it's actually kind of fun to play with. And you get an idea. So they literally just went into open beta testing last month. And then soon we're going to have AI-powered asset management assistant coming in. And then later on in spring, network protocol for multiplayer game support, development of testing instrumentation. And then in summer, we're going to have version 1 released. The publisher dashboard improvements, leaderboards, cataloging, filtering, basic analytics. And then that's when the AI assistant is coming in full blown. And then it is going to be fall of this year where we're going to start seeing the source code released for the PC version. I doubt you'll see the source code released on consoles at any point in time simply because it's a very proprietary world. So if you're interested, again, that is the full timeline. They do have decent documentation, so you head on over to the docs section right there, and it brings you over here. Gives you an idea of the kind of things that are covered. The whole Daslang thing is completely documented here as well, but a quick walkthrough of everything. Now, keep in mind, this is not a Unity or Godot or Unreal Engine. The tooling is very limited. You've got the ability to create these prefabs, but you want to string your world together. You are doing it entirely with code at this point in time. But the code is actually quite nice. There is a ton of documentation about all the various different things that are available there. It is component based. You have things for accessing those components, and then you do have this Daslang reference here as well. Now on top of that, as I mentioned earlier on, this project, this Daslang, previously known as DasScript, is a high-performance programming language, features strong static typing, is designed to provide high performance, and serves as an embeddable scripting language for C++ applications that requires fast and reliable performance, such as games or back-end servers. So this is being made available from Gaijin Entertainment. It's a separate project, but that is ultimately the programming language that is being used with the whole EdenSpark game engine. So I did mention earlier on, this is built on top of the Dagor Engine. The Dagor Engine source code is available. It is online. It is under a BSD 3 license. Kind of gives you an indication of what this one may end up being like. I don't know anyone that's actively using the Dagor engine other than there was a Russian engine that was forked from it, but I don't know what came of that, to be honest. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. EdenSpark game engine. Again, it's aimed at that more casual space. I think the closest thing you're going to find to it is something like s&box, although it is also going to be ultimately on consoles as well. And again, you're going to have that AI integration where you're going to say, like, here, let's create this or let's create this. So you're going to use AI prompts to direct things. That's coming later on. I don't know if you're going to be able to ignore that or not, but it's definitely part of EdenSpark. Although, if you think about it, that is a logical way to get around the limitations of doing development on the console. I'll be interested to see where this ultimately turns out. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is EdenSpark, a game engine from Gaijin Entertainment, the creators of War Thunder and the Dagor Engine. Ultimately, it's going to be open source. It is not yet, but it is an interesting project. So let me know what you think of EdenSpark. I will talk to you all later. Goodbye.